Hey everyone. Yeah, if you thought things were bad already in Canada in terms of the politicization of almost everything, there's basically nothing that's objective anymore, right? It's all subjective and politicized, and no wonder the Canadians are so confused and confounded in regards to not just their economic situation or the bottom line or how the economy is actually doing, but even what laws or justice means in this country, because it is being politicized. Well, I mean, it's already been politicized by a tremendous amount of people, not, like I say, not just the political and the legislatures, but all the way up to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada. Yes, even the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada has chosen to play politics with the justice system in this country. And when that kind of stuff happens at the very top, at the very upper echelons of the justice system in this country, well, think about how toxic that environment must be for all the subordinates underneath them. If this is the kind of leading by example that we're getting from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada, then you know darn well that the justice system in this country is anything but just. Headline of the CBC News, Politics, Supreme Court Chief Justice calls for more diversity in Canada's legal system. Richard Wagner cites cases of racial bias, degrading stereotypes in court proceedings. It's being reported by Kathleen Harris, June 18th, 2020. So yeah, the Supreme Court Chief Justice is calling for more diversity in Canada's legal system. Whoa, 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 whoa. Diversity of what? What kind of diversity are you talking about here? What's between people's legs? The color of their skin? The tone of their skin? What possibly could this Chief Justice mean? And what the hell would that have to do with justice? Right? Change the color of my skin. Does that somehow change the content of my character? I'd like to really ask him that question. Sounds quite racist, if you ask me. Actually, when it comes to objective law and justice, yeah, you don't want diversity. You want people who are knowledgeable and consistent in how they dish out or handle justice. The Supreme Court's Chief Justice is calling for more diversity in Canada's legal system as protests mount around the world over anti-black and anti-Indigenous racism. So once again, like I say, this is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in Canada who has chosen to openly vocalize and politicize the justice system in this country as a means to what? Show solidarity with protesters? I mean, what the hell does that have to do with justice? See, this is the thing. Justice, when properly done, is blind to skin color or what's between your legs. That's literally the whole point of having a proper ethical system of justice or laws based on objective standards. Is yet, you don't play identity politics when referencing the justice system. So why would they try to do this now and to do it publicly? I mean, like I say, I get that some of the activist judges on some of the benches in this country step out of the bounds and try to politicize things, but you wouldn't expect that to be something that would take place at the very top, at the very upper echelon of the justice system in this country. But yes, it has, it did, and I'm referencing it right now. During an end of session news conference in Ottawa today, Richard Wagner said the top court has wrestled with cases that have underscored racial bias and the use of degrading stereotypes, and that a lack of diversity in the justice system is part of the problem. All Canadians should be able to see themselves reflected in their justice system. Justice should not make a person feel like an outsider or an other when they confront it, he said. That's a whole lot of discussions about my feels for someone that, once again, is at the very top position in terms of how the legal system or the justice system works in this country. Scary, right? But once again, that's basically alluded to, if you're being judged by your peers, whether, like I say, whether it's the jury or the judge, what? That person has to share your skin color or come from a geographical area historically similar to you? Is that how justice is done these days? Well, actually, yeah, it sure does seem that way, doesn't it? And that's basically what's being presented by this Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada is, yeah, apparently now it's what the person looks like, or in terms of the male-female thing, what's between their legs, I guess is how you're going to make sure you get proper justice. So if you're a woman, I guess you need a woman up there on the bench because they're the only one that's going to be able to think about justice from your perspective, right? Oh my God, could you imagine how that would play out entirely? I mean, this is basically painting the entire society and everyone within it as being just a bunch of racists and sexists, and the only way you get proper justice is if you get people that share your personal identity or identifiers, and then somehow that's how that justice will take place. Once again, all this stuff sounds very racist, sounds very collectivist, and sounds like there's absolutely no nuance or understanding that people are individuals at the end of the day. And that we should not, as Martin Luther King himself suggested, be judging people based on their skin color, but actually by the content of their character. And in this case, if they've actually broken the law and were proven to do so. So once again, despairing outcomes or discrepancies in terms of legal outcomes regardless of your skin color, yes, there are injustices that take place in this country. 100%. I suffered at the hands of those who represent the corrupt legal and justice system in New Brunswick, and I know many other people have suffered as well due to mandatory minimum sentencing and the collective punishment that's been doled out generously by these leftists or these activist judges on the bench. Or actually, even some of those conservative judges. Once again, I won't even play the left-right divide when you're talking about the justice system in this country, because I recognize that corruption is entrenched and comes from both sides of the political spectrum. But anyways, folks, I'll place a link to this article in the description of the video below. But I mean, like I say, think about it. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada is now touting or promoting diversity, equity, and inclusivity in hiring practices or how the justice system is done in this country. You heard it here, folks. Prepare accordingly. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.